This is going to be hard to believe, but a lot of the skincare products you're using to get rid of your acne are actually causing you to have more of it. This will be the most important video you watch today, so let's talk. My name is Brian Turner, and I used to have extremely severe cystic acne. That is why I am super passionate about helping people who are in the same position that I was in. Now, before we jump into the first one of this video, if you are dealing with acne right now and you want help getting rid of it, check out my acne program, theacnemethod.com. It helps you pinpoint the source of your acne instead of just masking the symptoms, and then it helps you create a plan so that you can actually get rid of it. You definitely need to check out the success stories on the site, check out those testimonials, and now we can get into number one. The first one on this list is mechanical exfoliants. These are any products that contain physical pieces like microbeads or sugar scrubs, things like that you're supposed to rub against your skin in order to remove dead skin cells. The most popular one from back in the day that pretty much everybody remembers is the St. Ives Apricot Scrub. You know which one I'm talking about. I used to smash this into my poor, already broken out, super inflamed face, thinking that the harder I scrubbed, the better it must be. Poor baby Brian. Dermatologists used to recommend physical exfoliants all the time. But luckily, what we know now from studies is that these scrubs do remove dead skin cells, sure, but they are also extremely irritating. And if you don't know this rule yet, please burn this into your memory. If you're prone to acne, irritating your skin can and almost always will cause you breakouts. So the trick here is that exfoliation really is extremely good for your skin health. It removes the top layer of dead skin cells, which then reduces the chance that those dead skin cells will clump together and clog your pores. But Brian, you just said not to use mechanical exfoliants. What do? Luckily, we have chemical exfoliants, which provide the exact same benefits, but without irritating the skin in the same way. So the best, most studied chemical exfoliants are alpha hydroxy acids, or you hear these referred to as AHAs, and glycolic acid is probably the most studied and the most effective. I personally use the product Pumpkin Enzyme Mask from Vanish. I use this about twice a week. That's what my skin tolerates well. But if you are not already exfoliating, you are probably going to love the difference in how your skin feels. Just make sure that you moisturize afterwards, and again, chemical, not physical exfoliants. Second up is using products that have too high of a concentration of their active ingredients. I understand this because I have definitely been there. When you are desperate to get rid of your acne, you sometimes think more of something that works is better, but it's definitely not always true. The higher concentrations can actually cause a lot more irritations and breakouts without really adding any extra results. So this rule applies to a lot of different active ingredients, but the most common one is benzoyl peroxide. Now, BP is proven in tons of studies to be very helpful for reducing acne, and it generally comes in 2, 5, and 10% concentrations over the counter. I always chose the highest I could find at the store, but my face was beet red after I'd use it. It was super dry, and I would keep breaking out more. There's actually a study where they compared all three concentrations, and the results are crazy. The 2.5% benzoyl peroxide formulation was more effective than its vehicle and equivalent to the 5 and 10% concentrations in reducing the total number of inflammatory lesions, papules, and pustules. Desquamation, erythema, and symptoms of burning with the 2.5% gel were less frequent than with the 10% preparation, but equivalent to the 5% gel. So basically the study is saying that 2.5% is already good enough to improve your acne, and the 5 and the 10% are really no better for your acne, but they do come with extra irritation and extra side effects. It's like if you're in the kitchen and you're cooking, right? And whatever's in the frying pan starts to smoke, and instead of just taking it off the heat, you either use a fire extinguisher or you call a fire truck and they dump 500 gallons of water on it. Sure, the kitchen fire is out, but you definitely didn't need to go that overboard. Salicylic acid is another example that starts at 0.5% and goes up to 2%. Again, you want to start at the lowest concentration and just see how it goes. A good rule of thumb for skincare is that you want to do the least you can in order to keep your skin clear, and the more that you add, the more chance you have to irritate your skin, break your skin barrier, and ultimately have side effects. All right, third on my list is Amazonian clay masks. Now, this is a bit of a throwback. I know a lot of you do remember these, but they're not as popular as they used to be. So I should really say this third one is any product that aims to completely suck all of the oil out of your skin and leave you bone dry. witch hazel, tea tree oil, just anything that leaves you super dry. A lot of times, if we have oily skin, we really want to just eliminate all the oil. It makes sense to us, right? We have so much oil, let's get rid of it. But unfortunately, that can actually cause way more breakouts, because when we strip all the oil from our face, it does feel great. It leaves our skin feeling really tight. But if we leave it like that, our skin says, wow, this is really dry. We need to go on overdrive producing sebum oil to help replace that moisture that we just removed. And if you're prone to acne, then this overproduction of oil can actually cause clogged pores and ultimately more acne. I remember I would use a clay mask 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes more, because I felt like it would suck all the oil and also all the goo out of my pimples. And it didn't actually help at all. It just left my face very red and irritated and tight and dry. And then the worst part was that I would then use a benzoyl peroxide on top and irritate and dry my skin out even more. It's like, I wish I could go in a time machine and talk to young Brian and just help him avoid all the mistakes. So if it was me, I would avoid these products entirely, but if I was going to use them occasionally, I would just be very sure to use a moisturizer immediately after to avoid my skin overproducing oil. Fourth on my list is coconut oil and lanolin. Now, these 2 ingredients are put into skincare products all the time, but they can cause some serious issues. So coconut oil is really moisturizing. It feels good on our skin, but it is a saturated fat, which means when it gets cold, it solidifies. When you apply it to your skin, it goes on really smooth because your body heat, your skin actually warms it and then it just melts. But then if you go outside and it's cold, or if you go into an air-conditioned building, whatever it is, and you're walking through the air, it will solidify and it will actually clog your pores. Lanolin, on the other hand, is an oil that's squeezed from wool, which is pretty weird, but it's a waxy substance that's really great for locking in hydration on the skin, but it is also very comedogenic or pore clogging in a very similar way as the coconut oil. Manufacturers put these ingredients in all sorts of products because they really aren't worried about whether or not it causes acne. They are focused on making the product feel as smooth as possible. It's like restaurants, you know, they want the food to taste the best, so they use lots of oil and salt and butter and everything. They aren't really cooking with health or dieting in mind. So make sure you check the ingredients in the products that you're going to use before you buy them. All right, I have a few additional tips to share after this, but number 5 is sunblock, and specifically sunblock that has the ingredients oxybenzone, avobenzone, and octinoxate. These all cause issues for different reasons, but for example, oxybenzone can cause skin irritation, and it's also reported to be a hormone disruptor, and if your hormones are out of whack, it can definitely cause more breakouts. When it comes to sunblock, always look for natural ingredients like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, as these are very effective, but without causing other issues like irritation. Now, zinc and titanium are naturally occurring minerals, although the kind that they use in, commercial sunscreens are synthetically created. It's a lot cheaper to do that, but that shouldn't change how it interacts with your skin. It is a natural element that is found on the earth. Another really big tip with sunblock is use at least 30 SPF, because that's what it needs to be to fully block out the UV rays. But if you're using something like a 50 SPF sunblock and you notice that it's causing you acne, try 30 instead. Both are effective enough to block all the UV rays that you want to block, but the higher SPF is obviously thicker and it could lead to acne for some people. These are my top 5 skincare products to watch out for if you have acne, but I have a few more tips that I think are really helpful, so stick around for this. Definitely avoid fragrances. Whether this is fragrance that's in lotion or different skincare products, or if it's literally spraying perfume or cologne on yourself, but you do spray it on your face as well. Fragrances, I cannot overstate this, they cause havoc to the face, so avoid them like the plague. When it comes to skincare products, avoid isopropyl myristate and isopropyl palmitate. These are emollients that strengthen the skin barrier, and they're actually really good for locking in moisture, but they are also very comedogenic or pore clogging. And again, the manufacturers, most of the people that they're selling these products to don't deal with acne, so it doesn't matter if something is pore clogging really, but for people like us who are prone to acne, you want to avoid this like the plague too. You also want to be careful with any sort of discount skincare products that you find, like for example the 99-cent store, and it's not necessarily that all of them are bad, it's just that a lot of times they will have acne causing ingredients like I was saying, isopropyl myristate, or very commonly they're going to have parabens, which help keep bacteria from growing in the product, which makes it so that they can have it for longer, but that also comes at the cost of causing you more acne. So watch out for those things. I would also be very careful with expired products, because some ingredients, they just become less effective. Whatever. But some ingredients actually cause skin irritation as they start to degrade. Okay, just a few more, I swear. But be careful with exfoliating too often, especially daily. Some people get very excited about how their skin feels and they start to exfoliate every single day. These chemicals are not super easy on your skin, and we need to give our skin enough time to recover. So personally, I like to do it 1 to 2 times a week. And finally, avoid using too many products. A lot of times we find things that we like and we just keep adding and adding to our routine until we've got a 15-step skincare routine that takes 45 minutes. But we know from people trying the caveman regimen, which is just stopping all products entirely, that some people just need to give their skin less so that it can repair the skin acid mantle and just get a bit of a break. So now you know a little bit more about what to avoid. If you're looking for my favorite skincare brand, definitely check out Banish, as they are all small batch made, which means that whatever you ordered will have been created last week at the latest. This ensures that the active ingredients aren't degraded like I was talking about. And I've used them for, I would say, 4, almost 5 years now. You can use my code Brian5, it'll get you a discount. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps it get out to more people. And in the comments below, let me know if you use any of the 5 products that I mentioned in this video, and let me know if there's anything that you would add to my list here. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already for more skincare tips like these, and I will see you skin bosses in the next video. Remember, you are not alone, you are beautiful, and you're part of Team Acne.